What's up, guys? Welcome back to Proa TV, and today I'm going to be covering top smartphones of 2017. We're getting ready to go into a new year. Things have changed. A bunch of smartphones came out this year. There's, a bunch of things going on, and I got a bunch of categories. I'm really going to just run through, and then I'm going to save my top five for the end. And just give you here and there, give you reasons why I chose these phones and in these categories. The first one I'm going to start off with is phones of 2016. I would still recommend or get right now. Not worth the price. Disappointments of the year. Sexiest phone. Budget phones. Normal size phones. Should have beens. Stuck in your world. Some wise. Best camera, and then my top five. I got everything written down. I'm just gonna run through a lot of these, and a lot of these I choose for three basic features. One, camera. If you don't, we're in an era where a lot of people just point and shoot cameras and stuff like that. And if you don't have a good camera on your smartphone, then you might need to look into that. I mean, if that's one of your priorities. If not, software, how smooth it is, with software, RAM, storage, which processor it's got, so on and so forth, and obviously look and feel. You always walk around with your phone. So, anyways, to kick it off, let's go with phones of 2016. I would still recommend or recommend the Mate 9. Awesome fucking phone. Covers all three of what I just said earlier. Camera, build design, software, smooth, butter. OnePlus 3T, same thing, covers all three. HTC 10, a lot of people don't like HTC, but if you pick up an HTC 10 right now, I guarantee it still runs smooth, buttery. It's got a great camera, great speakers. Where it fell short was the design, but you got to think these are from last year. A lot of these phones now are bezel-less, so let's keep going. LG V20, same thing. Cameras, amazing on that thing. Honor 8 Pro, cameras are amazing on there. Pixels from last year, this year. I mean, I didn't like the chunky design on them, but amazing cameras, amazing software. Let's keep going. Not worth your price, and a lot of people are gonna hate on me, and I'm an iPhone hater, this and that. These are all my personal. This is my opinions, okay? These are my opinions. Don't take them with a grain of salt. But not worth the price in my book. iPhone 10. It just doesn't meet that $1,000 price point. People are gonna buy it regardless. Go get it. I don't care. You're an iPhone user. iPhone users are always gonna be iPhone users. They're gonna get whatever they want. But if you compare it, the quick charge on the iPhone to, I want to say, like 80% of Android phones today, and for the past 3-4 years that have quick charge in them, the quick charger that comes with the box is the quick charger that comes with the box. You don't have to go and buy a $70 quick charger for your iPhone. See where I'm getting at? They're gypping people, and then you got to spend an extra $70. And this is just the base model. This is just just a base model, 64 gigs, no external storage, no. They move the fingerprint scanner. Like, I understand it's a gesture base, and that's pretty dope. But at the same time, I'm just not a big fan of. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't think it's worth the hype. Maybe if it would have came out at $600, which I think that they could have released it at around $600-700. That may be worth that, but $1,000 for all the shortcuts, first gen phone. Anyways, keep it moving. Moto Z Force 2, same thing. Too goddamn expensive, and then on top of it, you got to buy all these accessories for it. So you're spending like $2,000 on that shit. Great phone, cool. It's great concept and everything. The Motorola's, they're creative, but same thing. Phone's worth like $750, and then you gotta buy a mod for this, a mod for that. It's like, come on now. They could have lowered that, thrown in bundles, whatever. Disappointments of the year, in my opinion, and I think they're my disappointments of the year because of all the hype they got, and then when they were finally released, they just fell short. You know, my number one choice for that is the Essential Phone PH1, Essential PH1. Cameras, garbage on there. Cool looking device. It came out way too expensive. If it would have came out at what you can get it now, yeah, absolutely get that. It's a good device for the price. You're getting what you pay for. You know what I mean? So, but it just fell short to me. Number 2 on that list for me, the Razer phone. The Razer phone is a dope device. I don't like that blocky feel. It's got amazing speakers, amazing screen. Camera falls short again. You know what I mean? Great software, but still, in my book, if it falls short somewhere, it's just not, for all the hype that they brought it up in, and excuse me, and things like that, it just fell short to me. Number 3 in that list for me, LG V30. And the reason why the LG V30 is a disappointment for me was because all the hype it got, by the time it got announced to the time it got released to what it is, it's like, is it really worth your money? You know what I mean? Yeah, you're getting amazing cameras on that thing, but in my book, in my opinion, LG's software has always been kind of laggy, kind of buggy, kind of, and that's why I hardly ever recommend anybody an LG phone. Just because of that, even though if you're a picture taker, bomb ass camera. Selfies though, on the other hand, not too good. Number 4, Moto Z Force 2. Moto Z Force 2, man, same thing. Too expensive, no bundles. You have to go out of your way and buy more mods and stuff like that. It's just disappointing for the price. Sexiest phone, Note 8. The Note 8, I believe, is the sexiest device that you can buy right now. If you don't want a big, huge phone like we've been going in the past years, get the S8. I think that's a good compensation for if you want something smaller, but looks exactly like the Note 8 and it's just as sexy. Budget phones of the year. There's a lot of these phones are under $350, depending on where you get them or kind of sale you get them at. But the Moto E4 for $100, you can't go wrong with that. You're paying what you get. So it's a good device for $100. E4 Plus, a little bump up. You get a little bit of better camera, a little bit more RAM, a little bit, The G5 Plus, same thing. It's a little bit more expensive, but you're getting a little bit better features with the more money you're paying. But the G5 you can get for like under $200. The G5 Plus, say like maybe $240, $250, and you're getting good devices. And Moto X. The Moto X is worth a little bit more, but you get a lot more perks for it. And that's the Motorola phone I wish they would have never gotten rid of. They would have continued the legacy on, so on and so forth. And last but not least on my budget phones of the year, Honor 7X. For $200, you're getting cool cameras, good battery, good software, more of a futuristic look where we're going, bezel-less. For $200, you get a good deal for $200. If you're on a budget and you're on an unlocked plan and you're not sure, trust me, Huawei is number 2 now. It's Samsung, Huawei, and Apple on the most sold devices around the world. So Honor is it's Huawei, and they're doing a great job in the Honor line. So Honor 7X, really, I would totally recommend that phone. Now, if you're not one of those users that need a big screen and things like that, normal size phones that I would recommend for people are the Galaxy S8, the LG G6, the Pixel 2, and the iPhone 8, because a lot of people don't like, that clumpy, big phones and stuff like that. So, the should have beens. Now, this first one that I'm going to talk about, it's a great device. Buy it now if you want to. It's at a good price now. You probably get it, under $400 now. When it first got announced, it was like $750, and you weren't really getting any, value for that. So, but it's a good device. I had it. I loved it. I got rid of it. But the HTC U Ultra, like, I don't know what kind of direction HTC is thinking about going or whatever, but they released the Ultra, then they released the U11, and then the U11 Plus. Now, the U11 Plus was supposed to be the Pixel 2 XL, but I don't know what happened, there. But if it would have been that phone, it would have been so dope because HTC U11 Plus is so cool. It's one of my favorite phones of the year. So instead of the U Ultra, it should have been the U11 when it got released back in like March, and then the U11 Plus when the U11 got released like in August. Another phone on my list. Same way they did last year, the OnePlus 3 and the OnePlus 3T. Same way they did this year, the OnePlus 5 and the OnePlus 5T. I think that the OnePlus 5T should have been the 5 because of the route we're all going with, bezel-less phones and this, that, and the third. And then they could have tweaked the OnePlus 5T to be something else. Maybe brought optical image stabilization to the camera, or maybe, who knows? Or maybe just release one device like they used to. I think if you keep it in that, I think OnePlus will make more money and it'll be, I don't know, I think they'll benefit more from that. Excuse me. Moving on. Stuck in your world. Now, again, people are going to hate me for this and I don't care. If you're an iPhone user, by all means, go get your iPhone. Stuck in your world. iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. Same design as the iPhone 7 Plus. They all look alike. They all do the same thing. Apple is just a smart, advertiser, marketing, things like that. The iPhone 10 should have been, that's another should have been, the iPhone of this year. The only iPhone of this year, because that's the direction iPhone users, I believe, kind of want, because I've talked to I have a bunch of iPhone user friends. And they get tired, they get tired. It looks the same, does the same thing. It looks boring, yada, yada, yada. The cameras aren't really that great on them. So if you're stuck in your world, you're going to get an iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus. I think you should get the iPhone 10, even though it's a shit ton more money. But at least it doesn't look like you're carrying around the same thing from years and years and years. Like, they've tweaked them year after year a little bit, but it's really not, I don't think they're really worth that money because they're the same thing. And then the slowing down they're doing to consumers, I don't know. I just not a big fan. They're so outdated, the design, and we're going, the iPhone 10 is a good example of where they should be going. Bezel-less, that's what smartphones are changing little by little, we started with one camera, then we started with the camera and then a selfie camera, and then we started with two cameras in the back. And then some phones now have two cameras in the back and two cameras in the front. And then we're heading into a direction where it might be three cameras. Huawei might do that next year. So, anyways, my big why, okay? This is my big why in these categories. Okay? Why release a Mate 10, 10 Pro, and a Lite? The 10 and 10 Pro, the 10 Pro is waterproof, the 10 isn't. The 10 Pro doesn't have a headphone jack, the 10 does. Why do companies do that? Why I don't get it. That's the big why in my head right now. Okay? Why release three phones when you can merge two and then drop the phone drastically on the last one? And kind of, I just don't get it. Just like Samsung. S8, S8 Plus, Note 8. Okay? Now, a lot of people out there say, okay, if you don't use the S Pen, get the S8 Plus. Why not just make the S8 a standard size and then the Note 8 a standard size? A bigger to smaller ratio, Because I use the hell out of the pen. The S Pen is, I love it. It's in, like I've said it before, it's in a phone of it in its own world. I believe that's what I stick to. Ever since the Note came out, it's a phone in its own world. It does something nobody else does. And the way they do it, and with the new software and the new enhancements they've done to their UI, it just works perfect. So why release an S8, S8 Plus, Note 8? Just like with the Mates. I don't get that. I mean, I understand they want to get more money, or some people want small phones. Some people want big phones. Oh, just get the Note 8. Don't get the Note 8. Get the S8 Plus. But honestly, you're getting more RAM in the Note 8. You're getting way more features. Anyways, moving on. I can go on forever and on that. Best cameras in my opinion are the Pixel 2s, the Note 8, and the sleeper camera and sleeper phone, in my opinion, of the year is the Xperia Z1 Premium. If everybody's ranting about how, check out the slow-mo, the super slow-mo on the new iPhone, do me a favor, watch what this camera can do. It's at a low resolution, but frames per second is like 3 times more than than the iPhone can do, than the Note can do, than the Pixel can do. I think Sony is, they were really good years ago, and then all of a sudden they kind of disappeared, and now they're kind of trying to make a comeback. But man, and read what your camera can do and can't do. Nobody ever mentioned the selfie portrait mode the Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, and the Note 8 can do. I've never seen anybody mention that. I'm here to tell you guys, the Note, the S8, and the S8 Plus can do selfie portrait mode as well. And they look pretty good. They don't look like the Pixel 2 does, but they look pretty good. Anyways, those were my few just categories I just wanted to knock out. Now, moving on to my top 5. I think there's a tie in 5th place, and the only reason why is because Huawei has the Mate 10, or the Mate series, and the P series. And the P series isn't that great, and it's, compared to what the Mate series might be, or maybe the P got released too soon, and they, the P10 Plus, in my opinion, and the Mate 10, are a tie in 5th place because Huawei makes amazing phones, and the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro and the P10 Plus and stuff had great cameras. The Mate 10 is released with Oreo. It's got an AI assistant. It's just a great phone. Great cameras, great software. They got headphone jack on the Mate 10. The P10 Plus has a headphone jack. Great software. Moving on to number 4, the Pixel 2 XL. Now, I have been a huge Nexus user, and I have Nexus like close to my heart or whatever. And I think the Pixel, when it came out last year, I don't think it was what the Nexus was. I think this is more mainstream. It's more expensive. I don't like the prices, but it's got an amazing camera. Best camera of the year, in my opinion. Go to a lot of reviewers and they'll tell you it's the best camera of the year, and I completely agree with them. Google experience is like no other on there. Only thing that sucks on that one is no headphone jack, but you do get updates faster, so on and so forth. So Pixel 2 XL, in my opinion, is number 4. Number 3, HTC U11 Plus, because that's what the Pixel 2 is supposed to be. But the U11 and the U11 Plus, I think, are 2 completely different phones. Even though they're pretty much the same phone, but the screen, it comes with Oreo, cameras are dope, software. Yeah, the only thing that sucks is no headphone jack. I hate the direction we're going in as far as no headphone jack. But still, dope device. Number 2 in my books, and this is why it's number 2, even though it's my favorite it's my favorite, my personal favorite. But the only reason why I bumped it to 2 instead of 1, and hear it out, and listen to me when I announce the first place. The Note 8. In my opinion, the Note 8 is number 2 because, it's got amazing cameras. It's got more features than what you can possibly handle. The S Pen, like I said before, it's on a world of its own. It's, got amazing cameras. The software is getting better. I've had mine since it got released, and I haven't had a single problem with it. And I'm very happy to see that Samsung finally got rid of that lag, or might have delayed it, a little bit more. We'll see. I'll probably do a review on it, months later, and see where it still holds up. But in my opinion, the Note 8 is on a world of its own. The reason why I bumped it to 2 is the fucking price point. $930. Now, you got $1,000 phone that has that got features taken away from it, and then you have a phone that has a shit ton of more features that you can do. Now, you guys see where I'm going with this. The iPhone 10 is worth $1,000, and it's missing so many features. It still kind of resembles, even though it's a bezel-less display and that notch in there and no headphone jack. They got rid of the fingerprint. I think, in my opinion, the fingerprint scanner is like the best thing that ever came out on a smartphone. The cameras to cameras, if you compare them side by side, I've seen so many pictures taken with the Note 8 that blow the iPhone out of the water. Excuse me. I mean, that one's more justifiable for the price, in my opinion. The Note 8 it has more worth for your money. So I think, but that's the only reason why I bumped it to number 2. It's too damn expensive, and a lot of people don't have $900+ that, a lot of people are, leasing phones and stuff like that or whatever. So number one, and this is my favorite, and it was hard for me to bump the Note 8 to number 2, but best in value, best in class for what you get. I mean, you don't get the best camera out there, but it takes amazing pictures, and I've taken so many pictures with it, and I just love the experience. The OnePlus 5T, in my opinion, it's worth half of all these phones, just about damn near. The OnePlus 5T. The Mate 10 goes for like $600 to $700. The Pro goes to like $800 to $900. The Pixel 2 XL base, no SIM, no extra SD card, sorry, I'm sick. So no SD expansion. For a base of 64 gigs, it's $850. Even though you do get the best camera, HTC 11 Plus, same thing, $800. The Note 8, just mentioned the price. And I mean, this thing doesn't have expandable storage, but 128 gigs for $560. I think you get an amazing camera, great battery life, great software, feels really good in the hand, and there's no phone out there touching the face unlock on this thing. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast it just unlocks. I'm not looking at it. I look at it, unlocked. Unlocks. It's just ridiculous. I think this phone is my favorite of the year because of the value, and you get exactly what you pay for. You get an amazing camera for, that you can't really compare any of these phones with cameras because everybody just does a little bit something different. People, use this more, you use the phone and the software more and stuff like that. So, I mean, to me, the phone of the year is the OnePlus 5T because of the value and what you get for the value, and cut everybody in half. I mean, if you want 64 gigs base, it's $499, 6 gigs of RAM. For 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, it's only $60 more. I mean, it's like, it's in my head, it's a no-brainer why it's the smartphone of the year. If you go from an iPhone 10 at $1,000 and then you go to 256 gigs, it's like another $150, $200. So you're spending $1,200 on that phone that I don't think is worth the price. I mean, take it for what it is, guys. This is my top top smartphones of the year. And my number one is the OnePlus 5T. Amazing device. Get one if you can. I truly recommend that phone. You won't be disappointed. Stay tuned for the review on it. I'm working on some things. Have a good one. Happy New Year.